This is your WGBW Daily News Roundup for the Talk of Green Bay, 97.9 FM and 1590 AM.
Civic Media News, I'm Terry Bell. Here's what Wisconsin needs to know. A former Milwaukee election official is found guilty of election fraud. A jury says Kimberly Zapata used fake names to get a hold of military absentee ballots. Her lawyer argued she was trying to make a point about flaws in the election system. Zapata could get up to 5 years in prison. Today is the last day for parties in the Robin Vos recall case to make their arguments to the Wisconsin Supreme Court. The Wisconsin Elections Commission is asking justices whether a recall would be held in Voss's old district or his new redrawn district. Meanwhile, the Racine County DA is looking into complaints of forged petition signatures. A polarizing figure from the Kenosha riots of 2020 is invited to speak at Kent State University in Ohio. Students and alumni are split about Kyle Rittenhouse coming to campus, including Hunter Chenevy.
I like the idea that a public university like Kent State has this diverse opinions being represented and coming onto campus. Now, whether or not those opinions are appropriate or not, I think that's up for debate.
Ali Greco is a student who wants to keep him off the Kent State University campus.
Passed with violence, having it on campus is going against Kent State's mission, which includes ethical and humanitarian values in the service of Ohio and the global community. And this is not ethical, and this does not promote those values at all.
Rittenhouse killed 2 people. 4 students were shot to death at Kent State in 1970. Wisconsin farmers need rain. The U.S. Agriculture Department expects farm income to go down 25% this year. The agency blames higher costs and drought conditions in Wisconsin and other Midwestern states. Governor Evers says he's proud of what he's done to improve mental health care for everyone from teenagers to farmers in Wisconsin. He declared last year the Year of Mental Health, but he only got about 10% of what he asked lawmakers for in the state budget.
Those are all good wins, but the fact of the matter is that I asked for $500 million, and, we could do the math, and it came nothing close to that.
More with Evers on the Empowered Caregiver this weekend on Civic Media. The Wisconsin Historical Society is taking over an historic theater in Baraboo. The Al Ringling Theater will become an extension of Circus World. It'll continue to serve as a home for local and regional performing arts. The Al Ringling Theater was built in 1915. I'm Terry Bell, Civic Media News. Now, here's what you need to know closer to home.
For WGBW News, I'm Lisa Hale. 2 new commanders are welcomed to the Green Bay Police Department. Shannon Seymour Tabasca of Milwaukee Police Department will serve as commander of the Investigative Division, and Lieutenant Rick Bellinger of the Green Bay PD will be promoted to commander of the Professional Standards Division. They'll be sworn into their new positions next month. When you head to the polls on April 2nd, you'll see state constitutional amendments. The first will prohibit any level of government from accepting money or equipment from any person or outside organization for election administration. The second one bars anyone who isn't an election official from helping to conduct any election in Wisconsin. If you haven't registered to vote, it's not too late. Just head to your county clerk to register or do so in person at your polling location. State Representative Alex Dahlman, a Republican of Green Lake, announces that he'll seek a 3rd term to the Wisconsin State Assembly. Dahlman currently represents the 41st Assembly District. With the state's newly drawn congressional maps, the new district will be the 39th. The 39th Assembly District covers communities in Green Lake, Marquette, and Fond du Lac counties, including cities like Berlin, Brandon, Green Lake, Marquezan, Montello, Princeton, Ripon, and Rosendale, among others. The Community Blood Center opens a new facility in Ashwaubenon that's designed to make donating blood easier. Officials say the facility features VR headsets that can help take donors on a mixed reality adventure. These VR headsets and the distraction they provide can help ease the anxiety some people might feel when giving blood. A proposed ordinance for the city of Appleton would require bar owners to have security cameras at entrances and exits and to produce any footage to law enforcement if requested. Some bar owners are balking at the cost of cameras and the footage storage for which they would be responsible. The Green Bay Safety and Licensing Committee will discuss the ordinance at its April 8th meeting. A woman accused of running over a bicyclist and killing him on the interstate bridge in Marinette faces new charges after testing positive for cocaine. 25-year-old Alexis Clark is charged with homicide by vehicle with the use of a controlled substance and hit and run resulting in death. She'll appear in court on March 28th for a preliminary hearing and arraignment. The criminal complaint says Clark thought she ran over some rubbish on the road. 48-year-old David Fournier was killed in the incident in July of 23. Two Rivers police have spent over half of this year's overtime budget in the last 4 weeks alone as they search for missing 3-year-old Elijah Vu. Two Rivers City Council has approved an amendment to their city budget to make sure that contingency funds will be available to cover these costs. The money to cover any shortages will come from multiple sources, including public works, recreation, and other funds. Elijah was reported missing a month ago on February 20th. And that's what you need to know. I'm Lisa Hale, WGBW News.
Baseball tonight. Hi, I'm Mike Clemens with sports. Spring training, the Brewers host the Giants tonight in Arizona. Brewers manager Pat Murphy asked, what does he need to see improve before the start of the season in New York a week from today?
We've got to play a little better offense, not just hit better. We got to play offense better. We're capable of base running. We're capable of doing the little things. We're capable of good ball strike. We're capable of a lot of things that maybe we haven't got to our full potential yet. We've added a few guys that are special. You know what I mean? Rhys Hoskins comes to mind. This guy's a pro.
NBA, the Bucks losing in Boston to the Celtics 122-119. Giannis out again with a sore hamstring, though Doc Rivers says the Bucks committed several mental errors.
We had some bad ones tonight, and so we'll watch it, we'll see it, do what you're supposed to do, move the ball, keep playing, and it works out for you. And I thought the best part of the fourth quarter, I thought we trusted that, and that's what happened.
That's Bucks head coach Doc Rivers. With sports, I'm Mike Clemens.
On your entertainment beat, I'm Pete Schwaba. MGM Plus is announcing a new Peaky Blinders-style series from Narcos creator Chris Brancato. Deadline reports the show will be set in New York City and deal with fearsome Irish gangs, as opposed to jovial Irish gangs. The project is in development with release info to follow. There is a new James Bond, and he is 33-year-old Aaron Taylor Johnson. I know what you're thinking. How can that be? They killed off 007 in the last film. That is true, Bond fans, but sometimes an actor is just so good-looking you have to resurrect the entire franchise to get him on the screen. The formal offer from Bond production company EON is on the table, and they are waiting to hear back. I already don't like this guy. What's he waiting for? It's the role of James Bond. How did they even have time to get a press release out before he accepted? If you're a young actor and you've been offered the role of James Bond, don't let your people play games. Sign so fast you pull a hammy. EON is hoping to have a new film in production later this year. Life is a gamble, especially when you gamble. Last week, News Nation reported that Bruno Mars owed $50 million to MGM Resorts from gambling debts. Mars is under contract with MGM where he makes $1.5 million a night, which means if the rumors are true, it's going to take him 5 weeks to pay off that $50 million. MGM went on the record saying they are proud of the relationship they have with Mars, who is one of the world's most thrilling and dynamic performers, and a guy you definitely want at your poker table. Fans of the royal family continue to be concerned about the well-being of Kate Middleton. Rest easy, the New York Post reports that Middleton's professional lookalike, 43-year-old Heidi Agan, is finally speaking to the media. Agan, who has impersonated Kate since 2012 at parties and meet and greets, says recent photos of William and Kate are legitimate. She says it is not her in the photos, as some have claimed. I mean, if you can't believe an impersonator lookalike, who can you believe? In a related story, Prince William was seen with Elvis. During an appearance on Watch What Happens Live, masked singer judge and former Playboy playmate Jenny McCarthy talked about why she didn't take part in 2021's Secrets of Playboy documentary. McCarthy says her time at the mansion was not a pleasant experience, saying there were lots of pretty girls and lots of ugly dudes over 70. McCarthy said it was like Viagra Central as she saw lots of gross celebrities having sex. That sounds almost as unsettling as watching an episode of The Masked Singer. Speaking of Viagra and gross sex, the unholy union of Donald Trump and Stormy Daniels is back in the news thanks to a new documentary called Stormy. In the film, Daniels claimed she received death threats after the story of her tryst with Donald Trump went public. Trump denied the affair ever took place, which is strange because he rarely denies anything. Stormy is available to stream on Peacock, so grab some popcorn and gather the whole family around the TV. For more showbiz fun, tune in to Nightlight with me, Pete Schwaba, every night between 7 and 9 p.m. on the Civic Media Radio Network.
We have some snow on the way late tonight, and tomorrow we could end up with about 3 to 5 or 6 inches of accumulation by the time it all winds down later Friday. Today, partly cloudy, 34. Snow will start by late tonight, 23. Snow, 36 tomorrow, with even more snow on the way late this weekend into early next week. I'm meteorologist Sean Cable. Currently, it's 21.
That's your WGBW Daily News Roundup from Civic Media. Subscribe to this podcast on Spotify, Apple, or wherever you find your podcasts. Find more news at WGBW.FM.